All right, people, we're going to welcome y'all guys back to Real Tough Talk. We're back in the studio for the next half of the games. The next 3 games, we'll be recording from the studio. Like we said, periodically, we're going to be going from Zoom. We're going to be going to the studio. Just when our schedules conflict sometimes, that's what we got to do in order to make it work.
Yeah.
So, other than that, we should be fine. We're going to get into this game. It's going to be DG versus Blackout. Blackout is coming in off of a close win to beating PME.
Mm-hmm.
And DG comes in with a shutout loss to Grind Time. So DG's coming into this game. This is practically a must-win game as they're 1-3. They're not what we expected them to be, especially with the pickups they made. Offensively scoring, they're 8th in the league in scoring, 16.7 points a game. We expected them to do a little better. And even their efficiency is kind of low. They're in 7th at 47.6%. Now their defense, when you ask, their defense is playing pretty decent at giving up 16 points a game. They're 8th, and their defense efficiency is 8th at 45%. So they're kind of in the middle of the pack. But when you draft Chuck 2nd overall, you don't expect to be that low. You expect to be at least in top 5 in scoring. You expect to be one of the most elite teams right now, and this team right now is practicing on life support. I don't only think it's because of Chuck. It's his lack of weapons. Cable Guy and West is basically their top weapons. Everybody else is a question mark. They don't have anybody really that can really, I wouldn't say stretch the field, because you got Bones, who was rumored to leave, but he's staying with them. But he's just not that player that you expected him to be. And this team is just not the same team that we all thought that they were going to be.
And I think that the key thing is what you just said. They're not the same team as the team that Chuck played with last. So that is the main difference. And they have, you know, a different strategy, a different way of play that Chuck has to acclimate himself into. Chuck is still Chuck, but the talent is not the same level of play is not the same, and ultimately it's a different feel of the team, and right now they're not meshing the way that they need to.
And on the other side, Blackout's coming in undefeated. Now their offense is praying, they're 3rd in efficiency. They score 57% of the time when they get the ball, but they're 9th in scoring. So basically it's because it seems like the lack of opportunities.
Yeah.
You know, it seems like when they get the ball, they're scoring close to 60% of the times. But they're not getting the ball enough. Their defense have to find a way to make more turnovers, get some more interceptions to get this offense more possessions. But their defense, even though we hope that they'll get them more possessions, their defense has been playing great. They're 2nd in points given up at 11.6, and they're 3rd in efficiency. At the team score 33% of the time when they play them. Their defense has been playing great. Kenny's been playing a main cog on that defense. They was drafting him for this reason. But I would have to say the main people is AB and Mike. When they come with that pressure, we seen AB get a big play to end the game last week. Yeah. Mike has been bringing pressure at the linebacker position. And even though his sacks may not be there, his quarterback pressures are. So this team is something to be reckoned with, especially their front middle.
And that's pretty much the best part of their team, in my opinion. Their defense and their pass rush. And those combined makes the defense gives the defense the ability to make a lot of plays. So a league that you have to have a quarterback, and they counter that with pressure on the quarterback. If you have pass rush, you're going to have a good defense. And that's exactly why Blackout is so successful right now.
But they're going to have Brandon out, who's been their top offensive player. He's out for the 2nd week in a row. He said he'd probably be back by the next game. Everybody has a bye this coming week, so that should help him. But they need him. That's why I think their points per game went down, because he's been hurt. When he was here in the beginning, he was lights out with Alex. But right now that he's been hurt, their offense hasn't been the same. We're going to jump right into the game with Blackout getting the ball. After getting the first down, Alex on 4 rush, throws with Vadim in the gap. High, almost picked off by Chris. 3rd down, Alex with blocking from Shaq. Throws to Kenny in the end zone. Picked off by Megatron. DG get the ball, and this is what they need Megatron to do. He's not the old Megatron, but at the end of the day, he's still able to find the ball, make a play. This is a mistake by Alex, and Megatron got it.
And the pass rush actually made that play happen. Keep putting them under pressure. making them roll out, making them uncomfortable is exactly what they did, and that gave Megatron the opportunity to make an interception. And when you have the understanding of where to be when you're making a defensive play, that's not something you lose. At the end of the day, that's not something you lose. And even though he's not the same athletic player as he once was, he's still able to know where to be on defense, and he's able to make a good play there.
DG does nothing to talk about on this drive, and they're going to have to punt. So they punt on their first possession. Alex gets the ball back. Alex is blitzed by Dev, rolls to the left and throws the pass on the sideline for a nice gain. Second down, Alex finds Pranks cutting in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. If you look here, Megatron reacts late as Pranks cuts in the back of the end zone. Vadim gets the extra point, 7-0. Blackout strikes on their second drive.
And they finally get into the end zone. They weren't able to get in the last drive. They fixed their efficiency on this drive, and they finally get to the end zone. That's how you recover from a failed drive on the first play, on the first drive, and you get into the end zone here.
Second down, Chuck is blitzed by Mike. Blocked by Timmy. Chuck rolls left and throws deep to Josh in the gap for a big gain, picking up the first down. If you look here, Jay lets him go, leaving him open. And this is the more Chuck that we're used to. Being able to find a weakness in the defense and attack it, and that's exactly what he did. Good play, good block by Timmy, picking up Mike, who's one of the top pass rushers in the game. Third down, third and goal. Chuck finds Debs in front of the end zone for the touchdown. DG gets back into the game, 7-6. And this is the offense that we are used to. Again, they stalled it the first time, but this time they are able to take things slow. Chuck calms the offense down, and they're able to pick up Mike on the block. And because you're able to stop that Blackout's pass rush, which is difficult, they're able to score. Great play by DG.
And all it takes is for Chuck to have time, and he's able to find a way to get through the defense. And that's exactly what happens on this drive here. He didn't have that in the first. He has that now. He's able to stay in control in the pocket. He's able to get into the end zone.
4 and out right now. Blackout gets the ball going 4 and out. Alex on 4 rush, throws to Kenny in the gap, runs for a decent gain. Second down, Alex is blitzed by Dev and sacked by Josh. Now DG's bringing their own pressure. Great play by them there. 4th and goal at the 5-yard line after a short pass. Alex throws a meat in the back of the end zone. High, incomplete. Turnover on downs. They're able to make another stop. And this is the DG team we expected. They might not be overloaded with all the talent that we thought, but when everybody's in position to make plays, if they make plays, they can make stops. And that's what they did here. They was able to stay together, led by Dev with this pressure, and able to stop this Blackout offense. Second down, Chuck gets blitzed and sacked by Mike. We just talked about Mike. This guy is very dangerous. Coming up the middle, it's difficult to block this guy. And when he gets the pressure in, usually ends up in a sack. Big sack by him there.
Mike, this is what Mike has been doing all season. Finding ways to get in on the blitz, sometimes catching the defense off guard. And when he's able to do this, he's able to make some big plays, and this is one right here.
Third down, Chuck scrambles with blocker from Timmy, runs in the gap for a decent gain, but is still forced to punt. DG's punt twice already in the first half. This is why I say Blackout defense is dangerous. They're second in defense as far as giving up points. And this is why able to make another stop, forcing this DG offense to punt. Blackout gets the ball back. They can't move the ball as they're going to have to punt the ball right back. Chuck gets the ball back. Chuck throws the bones in the middle, almost picked off by Macho. DG can't get the ball any further. They're going to have to punt. With 7 seconds left, they get stalled again. Their third punt of the game.
For this team.
Blackout can't move the ball, and they're going to go into the half. 7-6, Blackout up 1.
And Blackout looks like a different team without certain guys helping drive down the field on offense. And that person I would say is Brandon. We've mentioned it the last game, but now it's really noticeable in this game because Alex gets in the end zone once, but then that is about it. They putting pressure on DG. They're actually doing their job on defense, but the offense has to step up in the second half. Somebody else has to step up and make some plays, and they have to do it because I don't see them being able to contain Chuck and this offense for too long. They're going to figure out a way to get into the end zone, so Blackout has to score first in the second half.
Listen, if I'm DG, we are what we are. We right now, we've held this Blackout top offense to 1 for 5. At the ball 5 times and scored once. I will take that. We have the best quarterback of all time behind him. We know he's going to find another way to score. But we got to have his back because we know this is a tough defense he's playing against. It's going to be tough to stop him, to be able to put points up. They already had us punt 3 times. So at the end of the day, we have to continue to punt the ball, not turn the ball over, and find a way to score, and hopefully our defense can keep us in it with these stops. We're going to jump right into the second half. After getting the first down, Chuck with blocker from Timmy, throws deep to Cass, open on the sideline, who runs it into the end zone for the touchdown. 12-7, DG takes the lead. If you look here, Jay at safety gets caught spying on the quarterback. Remember, the first touchdown that they did, Chuck moved the ball downfield by attacking Jay. He's going after Jay. Jay's not the best safety in the game, and Chuck found a weakness in this team's armor, and he's going after him.
And the main thing about that is lack of communication. They have to talk in the secondary, and they got to point out which receivers they're going to pick up. They're not always going to lock up man on man, but everybody got to communicate to know where they're going to guard. And that's not what Blackout is doing, and that's why on a big play here, Jay gives up by not catching the open receiver, and they give up a touchdown here.
Alex is going to get blitzed and sacked by Dev. Dev is capable of doing exactly what he's doing. He's a former All-Star. He made the All-Star team with Never Scared a few years ago. The guy is very capable if you give him an opportunity, and he's taking advantage of the opportunities he's got. After getting the first down, Meek is flagged for cursing, 15 yards back, Blackout not looking like the same team. Second down, Alex on forward rush, runs in the gap for a decent gain. Fourth down at the 15-yard line, Alex rolls left with blocker from Shaq and Kenny. Alex throws it Meek in the back of the end zone. High, incomplete, turnover on downs. That is another DG stop on his Blackout offense.
Same issues that they had in the first half, they have in the second. They're not able to move the ball. Alex is under pressure, and nobody's getting open. Nobody's stepping up. They're going to keep continuing to struggle. They're in trouble.
Second down, Chuck is blitzed by Mike. Blocked by Timmy, throws the Cass in the gap, who runs on the sideline for a nice gain, picking up the first down. That is a great way to get the ball out when Mike comes in. Timmy's blocking Mike as best he can. Great blocking there. Third down, Chuck with blocker from Dev, throws a Megatron in the gap for a decent gain. Fourth down, Chuck with blocker from Dev, throws it to Bones to the back of the end zone. That's going to be dropped. Turnover on downs. That is another stop. Bones has not been consistent. That's why I know a lot of people talk about Bones and Cabby. Cabby's a better player than Bones because these are times when Bones drops the football. And this is what he's doing. He's not helping Chuck. He has not really helped Chuck this season. He has to get better because Chuck is depending on him, especially to be able to go down the field, and he doesn't get this one here. Third down, after a short run, Alex with the throw on the sideline, knocked away by Raw. Fourth down, Alex on forward rush, throws to Lucas Cutting in the sideline for the first down. Passes dropped, turnover on downs. This offense is looking terrible, and they're not helping Alex. He's getting him the football. They're not making plays. Somebody put up the APP. Somebody put the bat signal up, but put Dev's picture on. I'm sorry, put Brandon's picture on it because they need this guy. This offense is looking pathetic, terrible. Whatever other words you want to add, throw it all in. It's this offense right now. Because why? Right now, this offense is 1 for 6.
And the thing about it is, it seems like in every single drive, Blackout's offense has gotten worse and worse, especially this one. This is the worst drive of the game for them because they couldn't even get a routine first down.
I'm sorry, not 1 for 6, 1 for 7. Chuck with 3 short passes to kill the clock, and they're going to end up punting. They up a touchdown, so it makes sense. They just wanted to kill the clock and then put their defense back on the field. Last play of the game, Alex is going to throw it up. The pass is short, picked off by Dev. End of the game, Dem Gettas come away with a win, a much-needed win, 12-7 over Blackout.
And this was a terrible outing for Blackout. I believe that this game, again, we saw the issues in the last game, but they brought those same issues into this game, and unfortunately, they were not able to get it by with this type of play. When you can't score on a game like this, you're not going to win. And that's the main thing that happened to Blackout in this game. Alex wasn't throwing accurate passes. Guys were dropping passes. They weren't filling the gaps that they needed to, and nobody stepped up when it was needed. They miss Brandon. It's clear, simple and plain. They miss Brandon on the field. You could tell by the fact that they was only able to score 7 points in this game when they usually score at least 2 to 3 touchdowns a game, and they only score 7. That's how you know that they're struggling and they're missing players, Brandon included. But right now, it was bound to happen, and it comes away with a game against DG. Everything came back to bite them with that offense, and they end up losing this game.
I'm gonna go on both teams real quick. Blackout is the third most efficient offense in the league. Third. Only the Monarchs and Never Scared has a better efficiency. Mm-hmm. Now, for people that don't know, efficiency is how many times you've gotten the ball and scored.
Yeah.
Because your scoring could be low, but your efficiency could be high, and it could be because you haven't had enough possessions. Mm-hmm. So sometimes the points per game, or it could be vice versa. So you may not score a lot. It's because of your lack of possessions. If you don't got a defense making stops, it's going to be low. Mm-hmm. But the efficiency is based on how many times you got the ball to how many times you scored.
Yeah.
They're third. This game, they were about 12%. They were 1 of 8 when they're usually 57%. That is a problem. You can't tell me that that's not a problem. They also threw 2 interceptions. They scored on their second drive and didn't score again. Second drive in the first half and didn't score again. They need other guys to step up. Meek didn't do anything. Breezy has not even been somebody you need to talk about. You know, they got to get better. They need Mace to be here, make plays. This offense is not looking great. They need Brandon healthy. But if your offense is all for a Blackout offense that we've seen dominate in Brooklyn, we've seen them dominate. I've never seen them play like this in all the games I watched them in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
That's an issue, especially against a struggling DG team. So Tone has to get these guys focused and figure out what's going on if they want to win the championship. They were supposed to be fighting for that number 1 seed, trying to get a bye, and now this loss really hurts them.
Yeah.
Their defense played great. Had Chuck 2 for 7, had Chuck punt, and this has to be a career high for him 4 times. This offense, these DG offense punted 4 times. That's a great defensive stand by them. Now DG. This is a great win. This was a must-win.
Yeah.
But I'm worried if I'm them. Their offense still looks out of whack. Now, you're playing one of the top defenses in the league. A guy with Mike, who's like a Khalil Mack, bringing pressure. AB's been playing great. So you don't expect them to be the way they were, but they've been punting. Last time they couldn't get a first down. So they have to get it together. Pams has to get this offense back in the right direction. The defense played great today. I think it was their defense, but it was more of Blackout's timing being off. But right now, DG can't afford to drop any more games. Mm-hmm. They have to turn it around, and they showed today that they're capable of beating any team in the league. As you saw, they beat a top undefeated Blackout team.
And listen, this is a start for Dem Gettas. This is a start for them to do the road to recovery, and they need it to happen now. This is the start of it. They played good defense now. They had a couple plays to come away with the win, obviously, but I don't see enough of their offense to be comfortable with the way they're playing right now. They have to step up. They have to do a little bit more. In my opinion, the last couple games, one of their most consistent guys on offense is a guy that don't normally play for either Carver or DG, and that's Josh. He's been one of their most consistent guys out there. And that just shows that Wes, Cable, Hollywood, Megatron, all of these guys that play that normally play are not doing what they need to do. All of them have to step up.
I wouldn't say that because Cable and Cable and West been
No, the last couple games, like the last game, they
will say that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Because in the last game, they didn't look that hot that last game.
No.
They didn't. Like I said, in the last two, what I'm saying is the last 2 games, their most consistent player was Josh, and he doesn't play with either Carver or DG. You know, so if that's the case, then a lot of guys got to step up and say that they can't be satisfied with this play right now. The last 2 games ain't it. They got to improve, because if not, they're going to be in trouble come the playoffs.
We're going to wrap it up. DG with the win over Blackout, 12-7. We'll be right back. All right, next game we're going to jump into is the Raiders versus the defending champs, Rep City. Now, the Raiders coming off of a win. They beat Braulio. And Rep City's coming off of a win. They beat the Gators. Now, the thing about both these teams, the Raiders' offense leaves a lot to be desired. They're not really doing great offensively. If I'm looking at the numbers right now, this team is 11th in scoring, 14 points a game. You would expect them. I mean, you didn't expect Angel to light up the score.
Yeah.
You figured 1, maybe 2 touchdowns a game with that defense, and they'll be fine. Their efficiency, you know, offensively, the offensive efficiency, if you look at it, is 11th. They score 36% of the time. So that's not great. Their defense is what they hang their hat on. They're giving up 9.7 points a game. That is first in the league. And their defense, every time the offense steps on the field, they score 17.3% of the time. That also leads the league. Their defense has been one of the best that I've seen. I've not seen a defense like this. We've seen the Monarchs play good last season. We've seen other defenses when Carver was the top defense a few years ago. Yeah. But this defense is something that all around, they're just shutting you down.
And it's not pretty much just a couple players that's there doing like everything. Like, you know, they would say that, okay, it's because Santana and Ice came and now they're doing everything. No, that's not the case. Everybody is playing their role. Everybody is making plays. Everybody's doing what they need to do to make this defense as great as it is. And that is just great play overall. They've been consistent throughout the season. Even though they weren't able to score as much as they needed to on offense all the time, their defense was able to hold it down enough for them to play as well as they have this season, and they need a lot of credit for that. That's why they look so good.
Well, Joel.
Yes.
Tanner. Ice.
Joel with the pass rush. Spud sometimes switches, alternates at the giver position. You have Ice. You have Santana. You have Brian. You have all of these guys that's playing in the position that they need to play and making plays regardless of where they lined up. So that is a way that you have an efficient defense. As soon as you strap on and get on the field, you're making plays, and that's what they've been doing.
Rep City, on the other hand, been struggling. Once again, offense is not great. They're averaging 11.2 points a game. Their efficiency is 33% of the time is when they score. And their defense isn't nothing to write home about. They're 9th in defense, 17.7 points a game. And they're giving up. Teams are scoring 50% of the time when they step on. But Rep City is more of a playoff team, like playoff Rondo.
Yeah.
It's like that. But I think they have an opportunity to be labeled as one of the worst defending champions of all time in UFL history. That's not something you want to put your hat on. We've been doing this. This is our 9th year. We've been doing this a long time. I've never seen a team play as bad as defend the title and play as bad as I've seen Rep City do this year.
And it's because they didn't handle their offseason right.
I agree.
And that's just my opinion.
I agree.
A lot of players that were supposed to be here, unfortunately, are not. I have nothing against picking up Matt, but he hasn't been the same Matt as we've seen in the past. I believe that injury really kind of slowed down his play. He's not as aggressive as he usually would be. And because of that, you know, he's playing protected, reserved. And that's not something that Rep City needs. And another thing is, the quarterback position, Hood has been trying, but it hasn't been enough, you know. So at the end of the day, in the end, they're just coming up short in a lot of their games, and the same effort that needs to be there to defend your title isn't really there right now.
And if you saw what I said in the beginning of the show, you know the trade that I said should be done. I'll go back over that at the end of this game, what I think a trade that will help some teams out in the league. But we're going to jump right into the game first. Rep City gets the ball. First down. Matt is going to throw. Hood is not here, so Matt gets to start at quarterback. After getting the first down, Matt is blitzed by D'Angelo. Blocked by B-Dot, but is still sacked by Spud. Spud has been playing great this season. Great pressure there. Rep City can't move the ball, and they're going to be forced to punt. You're going to have a lot of stops, so this game's going to go really quick. Raiders, as you see here, are struggling. They can't move the ball, and they're going to get stopped. Matt gets the ball back. Second down, Matt throws an A-Rock cutting in the middle for a decent gain. Fourth down, Matt rolls right and throws to D-Boy in the back of the end zone. Knocked away by Tanner. Turnover on down. This is what Tanner's been doing all season. The guy's been playing great. He's showing why he was drafted by this team. I think he should have went a lot higher in the draft, but that remains to be seen to other teams, but that's a great play by him. Second down, Angel is blitzed by Meach and throws his Spud in the gap. That's going to be dropped. Third down, Angel on 4 rush is sacked by Sheamus. Nobody's open. Raiders are going to have to punt. And this is why they've been struggling offensively. Guys don't get open. And when they do, they drop in the pass. Sometimes Angel doesn't see him. This offense has been a lot to be would be a lot to be desired. But at the end of the day, their defense been holding, so they're going to punt and not take no chances. After getting the first down, Matt throws the Meach in the gap who runs for a nice gain. Third down, Matt with blocker from B-Dot throws a test in the back of the end zone. The ball is knocked out of his hands by Tanner. Another great play by Tanner. Fourth down, Rep City gets stopped at the 10-yard line. Turnover on downs. This Raiders defense is real. They are making stops when they need to make stops. They don't complain when the offense gets stopped. They do their job. This defense is dangerous. Fourth down at the 45-yard line. Angel throws an elbow in the gap. Off target. Turnover on downs. That is another stop. This Raiders offense, they got to get better, man. They just not able to score, and you're putting a lot on your defense, expecting them to hold all day. They've been doing it so far this season, but this offense got to help out. They get stopped again.
And right now, you don't expect Angel to be the quarterback to make something out of nothing. So somebody has to get open. Somebody has to run their routes. And I don't think that they have been able to do that. Some guys not following routes. You see Angel getting frustrated because nobody's doing what he like I said, I'm trying to figure out what this offense has that's a problem. And I just can't do it. They just not work. They're not working together, and it's showing in why they're so low in the scoring bracket right now.
First down, Matt is gonna roll right, and he's gonna throw a bomb. Unfortunately, we had a little issue with the camera. It kind of froze for a quick second. We had a little issue with one of the buttons, but we got it fixed. But unfortunately, we missed this play. But it was an interception. It was an interception by Malik. And this was just, maybe it was good that we didn't get it on film, because Matt throws an interception on first down. He goes downfield and throws a pick. So shout to Matt, much love to you. We didn't get the footage because it was that terrible. The camera didn't even want it. It was that terrible of a play, but they turned the ball over.
Listen, right now, it's hard for me to get on one team without getting on the other. This is a terrible game to watch. I miss watching the soccer guys and Harris when they be playing in the background, because at least I have something interesting to watch when games like this are on the field, because there's nothing's happening on either side, and it's disappointing because both teams have the potential to play a lot better than they are right now, but they're both struggling.
Raiders can't score before the half. That's going to take us to halftime 0-0. And I want to charge both of these teams. I want to go to the police department and file charges on both of these teams because they showed abuse to my eyes. My eyes are hurting now. And right now that we're going over the game and I'm remembering more of what happened in the game, I'm getting a headache. So I want to know if I could put that on the assault charges that I got against both teams, because they look terrible. They look terrible. Now, again, this Raiders offense have not been great all season. They've been inconsistent and not show the ability to put up points. But their defense has been playing great. But I'm not going to give them too much credit because Rep City's offense is pretty bad.
Yeah.
So, at the end of the day, this is punishment to everything that is me right now.
And I'm going to focus a little bit more on Rep City because I think that the stakes are a lot higher for this team. They're the defending champions. And going towards the half, you have B-Dot and Matt at each other's throats like they're about to fight each other. Now, first of all, I got to get on B-Dot because, one, you're screaming at the man because he's struggling to throw. Yes, he's having a bad game, but he's not there to quarterback in the first place. Your quarterback, unfortunately, didn't show up. So you got to work with what you have. Matt has been struggling. You have to back him up and pick him up to see if y'all can get something working. Yelling at him is not going to change anything because at the end of the day, and I'm going to say it simple and plain, Matt has nothing to gain with being here in the end of the day. You know, should I say that?
Yeah. Be honest.
Matt has nothing to gain for being here at the end of the day. So yelling at him is not going to make anything even any better right now. It's not really his fault that this situation is happening. This has been a consistent thing throughout the season, and everybody got to be to blame for that. So fighting with Matt is not really it's not something that you should be doing. But Matt making these mistakes is not helping the team at all either, you know. But you got to make better decisions out there, and you got to work with whatever you have because right now it's not looking good on either side of the ball for this team.
And as always, I disagree with you.
What?
B-Dot did yell and is uncalled for, but Matt wasn't talking nice to B-Dot himself.
Yes.
So that's just gonna happen. Teammates is gonna fight, argue. Brothers is gonna fight. You know, it happens. It's a part of the game.
But there's a reason why I'm saying what I'm saying.
At the end of the day, this team has been known to have controversy. We'll get into it a little bit later, but I think both parties at blame. We're gonna jump right back into the game. At fourth, we're gonna jump right back into the game. Raiders getting the ball, going 4 and out. Third down after a few short plays, Angel throws deep to Tanner, cutting in the back of the end zone, caught but out of bounds by Tanner. Fourth down, with blocking by Joel. Angel throws to Jahai in the front of the end zone. With contact from JJ, the pass is incomplete, turnover on downs. Not the JJ that plays with the Raiders. This is another JJ.
Yeah.
You know, so maybe we'll bring back JJ from what's the move? The show. Good Times. We need that JJ. There's a lot of JJs here. At the end of the day, great play by them. Jahai has to make this catch. He doesn't, and they're gonna get stopped. Matt is going to throw deep to Rel in the gap. The pass is going to be dropped. Second down, Matt throws in the gap. That pass is going to be dropped. Third down, Matt on 4 rush throws a B-Dot in the gap. That's going to be dropped. Rep City's going to have to punt. Now, who B-Dot should be yelling at is this Rep City's hands. It's offense and their hands because they can't catch. Because these are 3 consecutive drops, and I guess the best thing they could do is punt. Maybe they're punting well. We got to see their net yards for punts. Because that's as good and as much excitement that we've seen from this team all day.
And the thing about this is, they were arguing pretty much throughout this game. And right now, the arguing is not helping your play get any better. You gotta back each other up. Y'all gotta pick each other up because right now is not working. So somebody gotta change what's going on. Fighting each other is not going to work because now guys is dropping passes. It seems like it's getting worse and worse as time passes by.
After getting the first down, Tanner gets flagged for cursing 15 yards back. Unfortunately, the Raiders can't do anything else on this drive, and they're going to have to punt again. After getting the first down, Matt, with blocking from Mike, throws to Debo in the gap, who runs for a nice gain. Third down, Matt rolls right on 4 rush and throws a test in the gap, almost picked off by Leak. Should have ran the ball. If you look here, he had an opportunity to run. He didn't. Fourth down, Matt throws it up. It's going to be incomplete. Turnover on downs. They get stopped again. No need to have you chime in because these teams are terrible. Raiders get the ball back, and they're going to have to punt, which is something they've been doing all day, so they should be used to it. 1 minute left. After getting the first down, Matt on 4 rush throws an A-Rod in the gap for a nice gain. Fourth down, Matt throws a route in the back of the end zone. What you think is going to happen? High and incomplete, turnover on downs. We go into overtime. I would like to apologize to my audience because this is one of the worst games I've done. And I've said that before, but right now, my soul hurts. Like the inside of my body hurts because I don't know what this is. I want to say it's a football game. I don't think it is. I think we need to find the soccer guys. I think we need to find that guy Pedro who came to play football. We don't even know if that's really his name.
Yeah.
Because this is very bad. Very, very bad. I think I should just go on my phone and maybe check some YouTube out.
Yeah.
Because this is bad.
I think that I agree. I think that they need to sign Pedro, that guy, because at least Braulio with 6 or 7 guys
was
still playing together, and they still was playing consistent, at least on defense. Rep City has not looked that great, and Raiders on offense hasn't looked that great either. So neither team is looking better than the other.
Second down, we're gonna go into overtime. We should have jumped right into overtime from the beginning, but we didn't want to do that. Raiders get the ball. Second down, Angel throws a Tanner on the sideline for a nice gain, get them to the 20-yard line. If you look here, Rellis caught spying on the quarterback and leaves Tanner open. You can't do that if you're Rel. Tanner's a top player. He's their draft pick. You know the guy can make plays, and Rel gambles and gets beat. Fourth down at the 10-yard line, Angel on 4 rush, throws a leak in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. Brian gets the extra point. We finally have an end zone touchdown. If you look here, nobody points him out as he cuts in the back, and Angel finds him.
And I was going to say this was bound to happen, but it took overtime to have some life on offense finally. One good play with Santana coming in and getting a big play in the gap, taking advantage of the defense, and then Leak is able to seal the deal with that catch in the back of the end zone. This is what they needed to do from the beginning of the game, but they weren't able to figure out how to do it. It's like they forgot how to get into the end zone.
No, you remember the thing, where's Waldo?
Yeah.
Well, that's how these teams were with the end zone.
Yeah.
So they was like the end zone hiding between people, and then now the Raiders finally realized the end zone's like this, and they're like, here it goes. That's the end zone. And they score. Finally. It took half our life for them to do it. Now, Rep City gets the ball. Second down after a short pass, Matt is going to roll right. On 4 rush, throws an A-Rod in the middle, picked off by Leak, who runs it all the way back to the end zone for the touchdown. And in the game, Raiders come away with the win, 13-0.
And who's the one who caught the interception?
Malik, a.k.a. Leak.
So pretty much he won the whole overtime.
Yes.
For this Raiders team.
And he also had an interception in the beginning.
So he had 2 interceptions and a touchdown. He won this game for the team. He was the only successful player in this whole entire game. If you look at it that way, that's exactly the case. Because it took him to be in big plays on both sides of the field for the Raiders to take away to win this game. This was a terrible game to watch. But good on the Raiders to stick with it and find a way to get with it, to get the win. Somebody had to step up, and it might as well have been Malik, and he definitely did that in these 2 last drives, and they get the Raiders to win. Regardless of how ugly a win is, it's still a win for the Raiders, and they're one of the tops in the division. They're, I believe, in the top of the division right now because of this win right here.
Real quick, I'm going to talk about the Raiders, and I'll talk about Rep City. First of all, great stop by this defense. Raiders have the top defense in the league.
And I believe this is the 2nd win in overtime.
Yeah. Their offense is going to hurt them. Their offense is going to get them eliminated.
Yeah.
Only because it's how they're making mistakes. Okay, if Angel doesn't turn over the ball with interceptions and you want to lean on the defense, then fine. Dink and duck, kill the clock. We've seen 99. No, we seen Don't Sleep get to a Final Four like that. And we've seen 99 get to a chip just using Shannon for the dink and duck. Now, Raiders don't have a receiver like a guy like Shannon. Tan is the closest thing. So they're capable of winning this style, but if this is your style, this has got to be a style. Because their offense is pretty bad. So they're going to put a lot on the defense. As long as the defense can accept the challenge, they're good. They're one of the top teams in the Eastern Conference, and I think this defense can shut down any offense in any division. That includes a Blackout. That includes Never Scared. I think their defense is that good. On the other side, Rep City. They're arguing because they're frustrated. They're fighting with each other because they're frustrated.
Yeah.
They are back to losing like last season, and we both said it. They're not. You can't do what they did last season this season.
No.
They're going to get eliminated.
There's way too much competition this season, more so than last season. Not to take away from what happened last season, but the competition has revved up so much that I doubt they're going to get far with the way they're playing right now.
So they're looking at a one and done. They're looking at possibly going to the playoffs, being the last seed or second to last seed, have to play a team like the Monarchs, have to possibly play UTF, however that goes, have to play the Raiders again. So you're going to have to play a lot of top teams in the playoffs if you're a low record. So they're trying to get out. I think this team needs a complete rehaul, and they need to make a splash. That'll help them win games. We've seen them do it last season when they got Akon, and they changed them around for the playoffs. I said it earlier, and I'm going to say it again. I think Rep City needs to do a trade for Reggie with the Gators. Put Wesley in the middle of the trade. Wesley goes to the Gators. Nelson goes to the quarterback. Reggie comes to Rep City, have B-Dot blocking, giving him all the time he needs, and Reggie will get this team momentum going. Matt can go back to his natural position, the way they drafted him. And with these weapons, I think Reggie can make it happen. Because right now, this is not working. They're in limbo. And Hood can go to receiver and play defense and help them if you get Reggie in the trade.
Yeah, but my thing is, I doubt that's going to happen. They're probably too stubborn to make that happen. So regardless of what, I think that they're going to just see if they can ride it out. Because I believe regardless of what's going on, they believe in their own heads that they can pull this off. They can pull this off, even though they're struggling in this league right now. So they're going to believe that they're going to pull this off. It's up until when they lose this in the playoffs that they're going to learn that the way that they've been playing the season is unacceptable, and they're not going to survive that way.
All right, we're going to wrap this game up. Raiders coming away with the win over Rep City in overtime, 13-0. We'll be right back. All right, last game up. You're going to have UTF versus Monarchs. UTF is coming in off of a bye. They had a bye week last week, but prior to that, they're coming off of a win. They beat the Gators. And on the other side, Monarchs beat 99. So both of these teams are coming off a win. UCF's coming off a bye week. And they're battling for first place. Both teams are 4-0 right now, and you know, it's all about seeing who can win this game to get the #1 seed as far as now.
Yeah.
I think the Monarchs are show that they could be one of the top teams in the league, especially offensively, as right now the Monarchs are second in scoring, averaging 24 points a game. And their efficiency on the offensive side of the ball is 60%.
Yeah.
They're second. They score 60% of the time that they step on the field. And on the other side, their defense is fourth in the league, giving up 14.7 points a game. And their efficiency, their fifth. Team score 36% of the time. Then you got UTF. On UTF's side, UTF efficiency is fourth. They score 52% of the time. And their offense is fourth. They score 20 points a game. So their offense has been playing well, led by Jeremy. Now their defense, they're fifth in defense, giving up 15 points a game. And on their efficiency, when they step on the field, teams are only scoring 33% of the time. That's third place. Their defense have been playing really, really well. Their offensive is 4, but their defense is 3 as far as efficiency. And you got to give this team props because they're playing great on both sides of the ball.
And they got to. I mean, first of all, I got to speak on UTF. This team has worried me throughout the season. They have been an undefeated team that I still was skeptical about because their foundation was shaky, in my opinion, especially on offense. Jeremy looked like he was running for his life so many times throughout the season. But one thing I got to give Jeremy so much credit for is that he still finds a way to get it done at the end of the day.
So before you say that, the question I have is to you is, during the week, they shut down Corey for the season.
Yes.
So Corey will not be throwing for this team. They made Jeremy their A player, so now Jeremy can play defense and offense. Do you think that they're making a mistake by putting Jeremy on the defense? Do you think that can leak over to his offense?
No, I don't believe so because of the type of player Jeremy is. Jeremy's not a player that focuses on, what's going to be the next game plan. Let's strategize on offense on the sideline or whatever. That's not Jeremy's game. I believe that Jeremy is capable of focusing on the defense, and then when the offense comes, that's when he's able to decide and make his plays when he's on the field. So I don't think it's going to throw him off too much when he's playing both sides. And I think that at the end of the day, and I think based on the decision, they're going to just take the risk because they have nothing to lose with keeping Corey. They have nothing to gain from keeping Corey there when Jeremy's doing so well. Just have him play both ways in the end.
All right, we're going to jump into the game with Monarchs getting the ball. Remember, Ramsey's playing against his former team. UTF is his former team that released him in order to sign Corey, and then Corey doesn't make the season. They go with Jeremy. It's all a lot of craziness going on. So we're going to jump right into it. Ramsey's going to throw to Javon, cutting in the gap for a nice game, picking up the first down. Second down, Ramsey throws to Javon again in the middle, getting him to the 5-yard line. 4th and goal, Ramsey finds Kaz in the front of the end zone for the touchdown. That's Kaz's second touchdown in 2 weeks. The guy's been a great blocker and going up to catch the pass. 6-0. Monarchs start off early.
And this was a simple dump-off pass that he goes line up to block, and then at the last second he runs out for the catch there. This is like 5-7 yards away, so the defense should have seen something like this coming, but obviously they don't. Kaz lines up in front of the end zone, and they get their first points here.
Jeremy gets the ball back with blocker from Frank. Throws a Dev in the gap. It's high, picked off by Benny. Giving the ball back to Benny came over from Don't Sleep. He made the All-Star team. The guy can make plays on both sides of the ball, but I love him on the defensive side of the ball. This is why they got him. This is why they really want him to add to this Monarchs defense, and that is a great interception by Benny there.
He's showing what he's adding to this Monarchs team to make them that much better, because you would think that they couldn't get any better, and Benny adds to this team's defense and makes them that much more dangerous. He's able to get passes like this when the quarterback makes mistakes, so that's another defender you got to worry about on this Monarchs team.
Second down, Ramsey throws in Henry on the sideline for a nice game, picking up the first down. Ramsey then on forward rush finds Henry in the corner of the end zone for the touchdown. If you look here, Ramsey with a nice throw with the defender there. Welch gets the extra point. 13-0. Monarchs score again. And
I believe that that's Bulto in the corner on the end zone. When you look at this play here, the defender's there, but Ramsey still takes his shot and makes the throw right in the corner end zone where only Henry can get it. And this is the thing about Ramsey. A lot of people talk bad about him, but when he's able to make throws like this, he is a dangerous quarterback to face off against, and he's showing it here with this touchdown pass.
Jeremy gets the ball back on forward rush. He throws deep to Mamba. The pass is off target, picked off by Bell. Monarchs get the ball back again. If you look here, Damo gets by Frankie again. Damo has to be one of the best pass rushers. Him and Mike have been playing great, blitzing the quarterback, getting in there, and they force Jeremy to make another bad pass, and it's picked off again.
I mean, this is a person that got 5 sacks in one game against one of the most dangerous quarterbacks in TFL, and Shannon. And at the end, and he still is able to get 5 sacks on him. So you're not going to keep a guy for too long from putting pressure on the quarterback. And Damo showing that he could do it consistently with plays like this over and over again.
Monarchs get the ball. Ramsey's going to roll, throw to Javon, cutting in the gap. Javon makes a move, gets all the way in the end zone for the touchdown. Ty gets the extra point, 20-0 Monarchs.
And this man, Javon, has been, and I keep saying it, has been their most consistent player on this team. And it seems like no defense has been able to contain this man. He has relative speed, his height, and he has hands. And you cannot say that he's 50-50 anymore.
No.
You can't say that he's inconsistent
so far this
anymore.
Season, no, he hasn't been.
The last 2 seasons, he's been very good for this Monarchs team. So you got to give him credit. This man has stepped up to the plate and been consistent for this Monarchs team, and that is why the offense is so good right now.
After a few plays, Jeremy with blocking from Frankie, throws a Randy, cutting on the sideline, runs all the way into the end zone for the touchdown. Ricky gets the extra point, 20-8. They finally score.
And when you see one consistent guy, you see Jeremy's consistent guy right back. And Randy's been very we're using the word consistent, but that's exactly what it is. Randy, whenever Jeremy's able to get him the ball, is able to make big plays, and this is yet another play that he makes and gets into the end zone. What would have happened if he didn't leave DG?
That's a good question on both sides.
Yes. Would DG be benefiting right now? I think so. But right now, Jeremy's reaping the benefits of having Randy on this offense, and that is another touchdown there.
After getting the first down, Ramsey throws to Henry in the gap for a decent gain. Third down, Ramsey on 4 rush, runs on the sideline, get him to the 5-yard line. 4th and goal, Ramsey scrambles on 4 rush, throws to Henry in the back of the end zone, incomplete. Turnover on down, second is into the halftime, 20-8, Monarchs.
Listen, the Monarchs need to keep this momentum. They weren't able to finish off strong in the first half, but they got their first 3 touchdowns in their first 3 drives. They got to keep that momentum going because they want to put this game away early. You do not want to keep your opponent in the game because you do not know what can happen, especially with a team like UTF.
If I'm UTF, the reason I think I'm okay is because I scored right before the half. We made the stop before the half, and now we get the ball in the second half. Nobody knows Ramsey better than us. Ramsey is going to let us get back into the game. So, as long as we was able to score and get the ball back, we can make noise. We don't think it's over because, unfortunately, we know this quarterback well. We're going to jump into the second half. Jeremy with blocker from Frankie throws a mamba in the gap for a nice gain, picking up the first down. Second down, Jeremy with blocking by Frankie again, runs in the gap, reaches the ball over past the front of the end zone for the touchdown. Ricky gets the extra point, 20-15. They're coming right back in the game.
And second only to Shannon, this man Jeremy has been the most dangerous quarterback running the football.
Yep.
Finding ways to get into the end zone, getting into the gaps. Nobody's been able to stop him when he takes off on the field. Not only does he have an arm and get down the field, but he can take off at any given time.
Very elusive.
Yes, and that's the thing. He's been almost as elusive as Shannon has been this season. It's incredible to watch, and there's yet another touchdown he's able to get with his feet.
Ramsey gets the ball. 2 passes for a nice gain, getting him to the 10-yard line. 4th down, Ramsey's blitzed by Bomba, who's blocked by Kaz. Ramsey rolls right, throws a tie to back in the end zone, drop, picked off by Randy. They get the ball back. Ty got to make that catch. That is a big drop, giving it right back to this UCF offense.
And that's not something that you can afford to happen. You know, the other team is coming back in this game. Now they're down a touchdown. You have an opportunity to go up again, and you drop a touchdown pass. Again, that's not on Ramsey. Ramsey put it right in Ty's hands. Ty got to come down with that ball. You can't ask for a better pass than that. Unfortunately, that leads to a turnover.
Jeremy with 2 passes for a decent gain to pick up the first down. 3rd down at the 15-yard line. Jeremy throws a Ricky in the gap, who runs it into the end zone for the touchdown. 20-21. They take the lead. If you look here, no communication as the defense leaves Ricky wide open, and UTF takes the lead.
And 2 touchdowns and 2 drives in this second half. They clearly stole the momentum in this second half, and that is because this Monarchs team is starting to drop the ball. They're starting to drop in the momentum, and their defense is not able to contain this UTF offense anymore. So something has to give, because they were just up 3 scores in the beginning of the game, and now they're down by 1. What changed? That's their momentum right there.
Ramsey's going to throw deep to Malachi in the back of the end zone. That's going to be dropped. Butho gets ejected for cursing, 15-yard penalty. 3rd down after 2 short passes, Ramsey finds Javon in the corner of the end zone for the touchdown. 26-21, Monarchs take the lead back.
And he goes back to old reliable Mr. Javon getting into the end zone. That is a great throw by Ramsey. No defender was able to get to that as Javon cuts into the corner of the end zone. That is a great way to keep your momentum, trying to take your momentum back. Again, you can't afford to not score on a team that's coming back in the game. They just had the lead, and finally Rams able to make it happen, taking the lead right back.
After getting the first down, Jeremy on for a rush, throws to Brown on the sideline for a decent gain. Brown is going to collide with Damo as he tries to spin. This is a damn thing that UTF went crazy. It was the controversy, and it went ridiculously. And I'm gonna talk about this real quick, and then you could chime in.
Yeah.
First of all, the issues that I have is players, and it's not only them, it's players in general. They want to ref and play at the same time. They don't know if they want people to officiate the game or they just want to do their own game, because they go crazy saying that Damo led with his elbow, Damo led with his shoulder, it should have been a flag. First of all, look at the play. As you see, Brown gets the ball on the dump off. He's going to get up, and we're going to show it a fast one. See that? No whistle was blown until Damo makes the tag. That means the first tag by who's that?
I believe that's Zayd.
Yes. Zayd missed the tag. Now, if you slow it down, and I'm far away, so I'm going by when I look. This is what I saw. Brown eludes the tag from Zayd, but at this time, Damo's running to make a tag. Brown makes a spin move. Damo runs right here. That's Damo's chest.
Yeah.
Does that look like a shoulder? Does that look like an elbow? No, that's Damo's chest. If you look, they said Brown was leaking. Well, Brown's head collides into Damo. As you can see, Damo's mouthpiece flies out. Damo goes down, Brown goes down. Damo is as injured as Brown is. UTF came on the field going crazy. There was a lot of stuff said. It was one of the worst moments that I've had to deal with in my career reffing. I've had a lot of bad moments with teams, and it always comes to the call that the team feel that should be made. And sometimes, sometimes it's the game. You don't realize, guys get emotional. I understand that. But this to me was a lack of respect. I'm not gonna get too much in details. My daughter was there. She attempted to move everyone back from me, because what I don't understand is there's no real discipline, because the guys always, every 30 guys runs up to the official.
Yeah.
Me, I'm not a tough guy. I'm not a thug, but I'm never gonna be intimidated to make a call. I'm not intimidated by anybody. I'm gonna make the call if I'm right.
Not make a call.
Or to not make a call. If I'm right, I'm right. I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I know what I saw in this play. Yeah. Did it look worse from the outside? Yes. But then you gotta trust the officials. I had guys say, I hate Jay. He always does some stuff like that, which I don't understand. I have Jay don't want to do this. Then I love the if it was me excuse that I hear from a lot of guys. Well, if you watch NBA, baseball, football, you got guys that gain reputations. Ron Artest, Rasheed Wallace, Dennis Rodman, gain reputations. In football, you had guys like I'm mad at a loser. Well, let's go to baseball. Albert Bell. You had guys like that are looked at in a certain light, and in football you got Burfitt that played with Cincinnati. You had I forgot the lineman's name that played with Detroit. Sorry, it slips my mind right now. But at the end of the day, you gain reputations.
Yeah.
So a lot of players gain reputation based on their careers that's known what they do.
Yeah.
So a lot of times you don't always get that, does he play like this? Now, I've thrown flags on Damo in Brooklyn for being late.
Yeah.
And being overly aggressive. Same to like Dre. It's being a little overly aggressive. He's not dirty. Yeah. It's just playing a little too on the line. On this was a clear collision. He was not going dirty. Yeah. He was not throwing his shoulder. He was being aggressive, and I believe that UTF took it personal and they reacted in a way that I've never seen before. Now, coming out of this bye week, everybody's off. We're going to start suspending guys, and my officials are known to throw the flags. A lot of times my officials don't throw flags because officials don't want to be caught up in the game. Yeah. They don't want to cause a flag that costs the team a game. But at the end of the day, you got to realize it's the teams that causes the teams the games. I was really disrespected. I felt disgusted by what I saw by certain players. I'm not going to really chime on who, but they know who they are, and I'm glad that we got the footage that they see that they were wrong.
And it's not
they were 100% wrong.
And it's not just players. It's not just players. It's coaches. It's guys bystanders on the sideline. Everybody has to have a comment. Everybody knows what's going on. Everybody sees what they see, and if it's not in agreement with them, then it's wrong. And that's not fair. That's not constructive at all. And at the end of the day, that's what kills the game at the end, because all you're doing is, until you get something in your favor, everything else is wrong. It's like everybody's Donald Trump now. Like, I don't want to bring politics into it, but you can't have a narrative that's disagreeing with you, and because of that they're wrong and they're cheating and all of that. It's aggravating to hear people put in so much work, and that's what they take out of it, rather than say, you know what, it was close or whatever. Anytime something looks aggressive, anytime it's a hard hit, it's a dirty hit. And that's the thing that's unfortunate, because if you look at this play, the whistle was blown as the hit was made, and anybody who plays football knows that until the whistle is blown, the play is live. So if you look at this, when the hit was made, the play is still live. So it's not dirty at all. They're saying it was completely late, and it wasn't. This was the definition of a bang-bang play. And everybody wants to rule in their favor, and when it's not, oh, they're cheating, oh, it's unfair because this would have happened to me. That's not how you look at things at all. It should be case-by-case basis, and this play is an example of that.
Now, I'm going to keep going, but this makes me not want to do it. This because it takes away from the game.
The fact that we have to explain all of this. Yes.
Anyway, they don't get a flag. They were mad. Guys said a lot of disrespectful things that I'm not gonna really chime in, but it's all cool. I understand where y'all coming from, and I understand how the energy is, so I respect it. Anyway, third down, Jeremy. That was second down. They just got the first, and then that was second down. So third down, Jeremy on 4 rush, throws deep to Randy on the sideline. It's overthrown, but Damo gets flagged on this play for roughing the passer. Now, I think this was a close play, but the flag was thrown because, as you see, Damo does jump up as the ball is being released, but his body comes down on the quarterback.
Yeah.
That's in the NFL, that's a flag.
Yes.
He lands on the quarterback, and you're not, especially not throwing position. I think if he would have tried more to at least turn on the throw or get out the way, it's different. But he came down on his body, which would have got him the flag.
And if you look right here, because again, I just want to make sure that nobody think that this was a dirty play either. If you look, he's already in the air before the ball is even thrown.
Right.
So it's a live play. The only thing is, he landed on Jeremy. Right. He landed on the quarterback. So that's going to be rough on the passer anyway, because you have to protect the quarterback at the end of the day.
Especially not throwing position.
Yes, yep. So in the end, you have to protect the quarterback. So is it a dirty hit? No, because he didn't jump after the ball was thrown. Right. We've seen some dirty shots hit on certain quarterbacks, and that's why certain refs have to watch out for that. But this was not one of those hits. It seems like this was a play where he went to jump for the ball to knock the pass away. Unfortunately, he lands on the quarterback, and that is 15 yards, right?
Yep.
And it's unfortunate, but that's a flag on them for that.
Fourth down, Jeremy on 4 rush. He's gonna throw the Dev in front of the end zone for the touchdown. The defense gives up the front of the end zone, and Jeremy finds Dev for the touchdown, winning the game 27-26, UTF with the win.
And despite all that happened on the field, despite all of the arguments or whatever, one person that was fully focused on this play was Jeremy.
Absolutely.
And that's why I call him, and look at him in his prone position, the certified sniper. That's exactly how he's been playing this season. finding ways to win games on the last play of the game. Right here, you see the Monarchs defense, they line up in the back because I believe they think that it's going to be a jump ball. They look like they believe that it's going to be a ball that's thrown up in the air. Jeremy catches them by surprise by having Dev cut into the front of the end zone, and that's an easy pass right in the front before the defense can react. That is an excellent play call, excellent throw, excellent catch. Way to end the game for UTF.
Before we wrap up the game, the show, if I'm the Monarchs, I'll take this loss.
Mm-hmm.
I respect the Monarchs. I mean, I really respect them. They kept it cool. There was a few cursing because guys was frustrated in the whole scramble with Brown. And Monarchs didn't use it as an excuse. They came to me and said, we lost this game. We'll take it. It's cool. And that's what I think makes them more dangerous because they were humbled. Even Henry was humbled. So this team is very dangerous. Now, reason I said they let them off the hook, they scored 3 touchdowns and then got stopped twice in a row before they scored their 4th touchdown.
Yeah.
You can't do that. They have an opportunity to put a game away. They didn't. So that's something, I don't think it's something to be concerned about.
But I'm going to tell you,
yes,
but I'm going to tell you, I kind of disagree that it comes about, the offense wasn't the reason why they lost.
No, their defense gave 4 touchdowns in a row. Their defense gave
4 touchdowns, the most they've ever given in the season.
In a row, yep.
Yes, and the thing about it is, everybody was saying, oh, Ramsey's going to mess up. Ramsey's going to give away the game or whatever. This was not Ramsey's fault at all. He put up 4 touchdowns.
And they dropped
one. And one was a drop touchdown, so it should have been 5.
Yeah.
So Ramsey played excellent in this game.
Yep.
Yes, he gave away, I believe he gave away 1 interception off of a drop pass.
Yeah, they dropped it.
Actually, I'm bugging. Am I right, or is that 2 drop touchdown passes?
The one he threw he threw one to Henry in the back and end zone incomplete going into half. The second half, the ball was dropped.
Yes.
That should have been another touchdown. So the one where Henry can go either way, you can say he missed that throw, but I agree with you. Even the interception he threw wasn't his fault. They dropped it.
So at the end of the day, this is the thing. Ramsey played great in this game. He did everything that you're supposed to do in this game. And if this matchup happens again in the playoffs, UTF has to take this team seriously. They can't look at it as, oh, Ramsey's going to give it up, Ramsey's going to fool around, or Ramsey's going to make a mistake, because he did make a mistake in this game. Their defense gave up the game in this game. So at the end of the day, all Monarchs is doing right now is they're collecting, they're figuring out what they did wrong, and correcting their mistakes in the future. Now, on UTF, Jeremy is playing terrific.
He's playing like an MVP.
In my opinion, he's looking like the best quarterback in the league right now. In my opinion. Not to say in terms of stats and everything on paper, but I'm talking about in the way he's able to put games away.
Yes.
In the way that he's able to come back in games.
He's a closer.
And the thing is, so many games this season, they were behind, and he's able to come back and score.
Oh, he's the best closer in the game right now.
So that's why I say he's looking like the best quarterback in the league right now, because of how consistent he is at the end of the game. So UTF, yes, they should be proud of the way they've been playing this season. They're undefeated for a reason. But I would love to see the blocking core protect Jeremy a little bit more. If they fix that, I believe that they have a great chance to go all the way. If they play a little bit more consistent, but so far they're looking good.
I mean, Jeremy got his sacks is up, interceptions is up. So I wouldn't say he's the best quarterback in the league. I think he's the best closer in the league.
But that's what I mean.
think he's the most right now exciting guy, even more than Shannon, because he's finding ways to come back. They scored 4 times in their last 4 possessions. They scored against a top Monarchs defense. You got to give this man his props. And the only one that didn't really lose his cool when everything went down was Jeremy.
Yes.
That's going to be dangerous. You know what I mean? So even though I'm not happy about what happened with UTF, I give them their props, because not only are they one of the best teams in their division, I think they're one of the best teams in the league. Yeah. And we haven't said that in a long time. But the way they're winning games, especially with Jeremy at the closer position, Randy having a great season, Ricky having a great season. This team
Mamba's having a great season.
And now Dev got involved.
Yes.
This team is a team to be reckoned with.
And the scariest thing about it is, as well as they've been playing, they haven't played their best because they've made a lot of mistakes. That's why I said throughout the season, their foundation looked shaky.
2 interceptions to start the game.
So my thing is, if they're playing this good and they're still not playing their best, then teams got to watch out because this team can play that much better if they're able to fix the little mistakes they have.
I think the biggest thing with them is they're not controlled.
Yeah.
They're not controlled. And that's going to cause them a game. I've seen a lot of guys get upset, they get frustrated, and they're going to lose their own games because going forward,
that game could be a playoff game.
Yes, going forward, the officials are going to ref the game. And a lot of things that they should have gotten flags on today for that incident, they will get going forward. Guys will get suspended going forward. And it is what it is.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, you can't get mad when you don't follow the rule and you cause your or your team to be affected by that. If they can overcome that and follow one leader, one voice, this team is dangerous because they have the talent to beat anybody in the league.
Right now,
All right, we're going to shut down the show. We're going to shut down this game and the show. UCF with the win over the Monarchs 27-26. UCF is now the only remaining undefeated team in the league as Blackout and Monarchs both lost. And we're going to give the shouts to them. At the end of the day, we're going to be off this following week. We're going to have a show where we have pretenders and contenders. We're going to do a little things like that. We're going to try to go with the home stretch right now. It's been a decent season, you know, different type of emotions, I would say. But at the end of the day, we've just finished the first half of the season. We're going to try to finish the second half, and we're going to see where we at. Much love to everybody that shows us love. Much love to the people who reached out to me because I was very upset about that, the situation, because my daughter was there. She was involved with it, and I'm not going to chime on that because I don't believe giving negative situations light. But I just know that it won't happen again. Other than that, we want to thank y'all. We hope all y'all guys show up to EHS Kids League, Kids Tournament. Pam's is giving, I believe, 12 AirPods to the championship team, and the MVP of the chip game gets a PS5. We don't even got a PS5.
Yeah, I don't got one.
So shout to Pam's. Much love to him for what he do. Make sure y'all out there. It's like 30 teams. Make sure all y'all guys come out, show some support, show some love, help out with the kids. We appreciate y'all, all the guys. Our love to y'all. And that's really it. Anything you want to jump in?
I mean, pretty much what's been said is said. I'm just mad that one of those kids is going to get PS5 before me. But that's just me. That has nothing to do with what's going on.
I'm going to be waiting outside for that kid.
Yeah.
Delete that part. Delete that part. We're going to wrap it up, man. Much love to y'all. Stay blessed, people. Stay safe. We're going to talk to y'all later. On behalf of Real Tough Talk, I'm Stephen J. My partner Ghost. We're going to see y'all guys next week as we have our show of Pretenders versus Contenders. That's going to be a lot of fun. We'll see y'all guys. Talk to y'all soon. Much love. We out.